Okay, let me demonstrate one more time because I'm not sure that we got that in the good video. I suspect there's a leak in the system in the span circuit. Notice right now we're at around 5 ppm and 5 standard cubic feet per hour, 5.31 ppm. Now when I drop this flow down to about 1, which I already did on the sample and had no effect, now you're going to see this reading start to go back up. There's a transient effect because of pressure where it drops low, and it's going to creep back up. This sensor is flow insensitive, so any change in flow rate within the operating parameters of the unit should have minimal effect on the reading. If we, during sample, reduce the flow rate and see a change in oxygen concentration going up, that means there's a leak. But we tried to do that and there was no change in the sample mode. No appreciable change. When we go to span gas, we see a large change with flow rate, which indicates to me we have a leak in the span circuit. I am suspicious of this valve here because I see good quality in the tubing and the fittings, and I would be surprised. We have Teflon tape everywhere. I would be surprised that we're leaking. So I'm wondering, is Air Products using a good valve for PPM02 on the solenoid valve here? Is this an approved Air Products valve? And test it accordingly. This unit has limited ability to correct incorrect span gas values. So if we see the span gas is substantially different than what we're telling it the unit it is, it may not be able to calibrate it. So in this case, I do believe we have some kind of leak in here. Interestingly enough, as we've gone back and forth with this a couple of times, we're seeing less of a rise in oxygen value and going to the span gas. That also indicates to me possibly that the regulator itself has not been properly purged out 3 or 4 times after installation. So I'm wondering, did we do that maneuver where we purge out the regulator per standard operating procedure in this? Because now before it was going up to over 7, now it's only going up to 6. So anyway, just to show the dropping effect, we're going to go one more time. Notice the transient effect with pressure. That is not of a big concern. We expect to see something like that, but now we can see it starting to drop again. And it'll go back close to 5. The other thing to consider is the cylinder is marked as 5 ppm, but there is no indication or certificate of analysis on the cylinder saying what the tolerance of that 5 ppm is. So if that 5 ppm is actually 6 ppm or 7 ppm, plus we have a leak in the span gas line, or an improperly vented or purged cylinder, we can see this kind of behavior. Okay, very good.